My name is Halima Mikani and I am the Managing Director of Tamba Africa Social Circus. Every year we commemorate the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, and this year we are doing our 16 days of Artivism against gender-based violence together with our celebration of the International Week and International Day of Persons with Disabilities. So our Artivism campaign for 2020 is centered around harassment, abuse and sexual violence perpetuated in the community of persons with disabilities. We are running a series of Artivism campaigns in and around Harare to really come and understand what is happening in the community of persons with disability, but also to ask young people from those communities what they understand gender-based violence to be and how they perceive harassment and abuse, both from within their community and from the mainstream community as well. And we've come to realize that there's very little awareness and very little education about sexual harassment, about violence, about abuse in the community as a whole. And we really wanted to focus our activities on bringing awareness and advocating alongside persons with disability to reduce the marginalization and to reduce the amount of gender-based violence happening within their spaces. So for 2020, we are focusing on two main activities, which are running parallel to a series of other events. And the first one is our Orange Indaba, where we are bringing together young people from different marginalized communities, not just from the community of persons with disability, to speak about harassment and sexual violence and abuse within their homes, within their schools, and within their communities. We are really asking them to be at the forefront of the conversation and to really look at the issues that are affecting them when it comes to gender-based violence. And the second thing that we are doing as Tamba Africa Social Circus is putting on a production that we're calling Unbreakable Woman, which is a series of stories that have been told by different young people, both within the community of persons with disability, but also within mainstream marginalized communities. And we've taken their stories and put them together in a production to really speak to the different forms of violence and abuse that they're facing almost on a day-to-day basis. And we want to challenge our communities and we want to challenge each other to speak up and to break the silence on all of the harassment and the violence and the abuse that is happening within our community and especially within the community of persons with disability. So Unbreakable Woman is really a story by women for women. It's being done by an all-female cast, which is NYAKASIKANA. And we're really pushing the narrative to break the silence with #ThisIsBS and to also end all forms of violence and abuse by saying #silence allows violence.
But this is my first time working with something very much linked to gender-based violence. So it's a very good experience for me. It's something that I have been wanting to do for a long time. This is my first time to work with a female-dominated cast. So I'm quite excited. The cast really inspired me a lot because right now the way I'm working, I'm feeding from them to feed them, and I also give them tasks to, can you go and see this? Can you go and read that? Can you go and understand this? So now putting all that together, that's where the movement is coming, and that's how the production is being built. For us to grow as a nation, for us to grow as humans, we really need to start looking at each other as equal.
In Zimbabwean culture, when I grew up, when you had a problem, like even in your house, domestic violence or whatnot, your aunts will tell you, okay, fix it and go back. But now people are evolving. We're going towards more, okay, that shouldn't happen. Men are getting involved in the conversation, reaching out into disabled communities and really getting to realize that, okay, gender-based violence exists in all spaces and people are talking about it, people are affected by it, but we still are yet to make a change. And so I'm so honored to be part of this production because it's really bringing everything to the light.
We have a lot of child trafficking, child marriages, and ritual killings.
Most of these violences are happening to those poor people mostly because they don't know how to raise their voice, to speak their minds.
I've heard news about things happening to young girls in the ritual stuff. Yeah, I've seen on the news the ritual stuff. So when I heard there's a production about the campaign in GBV, I was like, no, this It's my kind of thing.
I just want to prove other guys wrong, other young people wrong, especially male, that gender-based violence is wrong. Girls are the victims mainly of gender-based violence, and we are mainly the ones that cause them as male. So we want to stop that. So I'm really
just want
enjoying
to
it.
be that race which goes after change, like to diversify things the way they go. Like they are the ones who gave birth to us, so we should like give them more pride and joy.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, one day we're going to have children, especially young girls.
And especially on my side, I have sisters. I have a lot of sisters. Like try to think if she was a sister or
Yeah.
so I have to protect. I have to protect her.
I feel strong. I feel like a lot has changed in me. This production really taught me to respect people and always put people first.
Every movement you have to do its emotion, portraying how someone feels, what women are going through. It's such a powerful tool. Like every movement I do has to portray something. So it's very challenging, but I love it. It's just makes me feel like I'm doing something in the world.